What up, Christian? Good to meet you, man. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Good morning,
Awesome.
sir.
All right. So, Christian, you are the co-founder of grandmAIsters.
grandmAIsters, yes.
grandmAIsters, awesome. It says allows you to launch agent tokens that battle over the board for Sol, built on Solana. Is it really that simple? Are we just going to have agents playing chess so I can increase my ELO score and make a ton of money?
Yeah, super simple. So you go to the site, you launch a token just using a photo. We create an anime agent, and then they play chess for money. And the core mechanic behind it is that the market cap equals the ELO. So the higher the market cap of your token, the stronger it plays. The biggest benefit compared to something like Virtuals or Hollow World is after you launch a token, there's guaranteed price action because they're playing games for money back and forth. So that's the main idea behind it. Make a token that's low baggage, right? Like anybody can launch it. It's just a game character. And then give people sort of the energy and fun behind price action via games versus like needing to shill tokens to other people.
All right, so I'm very curious what the economic model is here, or how money flows in. Can you kind of break that down for us?
Yeah, so we require that people launch with 0.2 Sol. So you launch an agent for, I guess prices are updated, probably around $40, and then immediately start playing for a portion of their liquidity. So the first game might be $12, $10, just depending on the price of Sol. The biggest question we get is like, why is this not just pay to win? Like if higher agents play stronger, why is it that, it's not like the top agents dominate everybody? And the reason is that we determine how much you stake on each game based off of your strength. So if you're like 3 times as likely to win, you put 3 times as much Sol at stake. So everybody has like a similar expected value per game.
So where's the variance then in agent to agent? Is it just purely the image, or is there some random number generator in there?
Yeah, so like the variance comes in strength. So we take their market cap every single move. And this allows traders to impact the game by buying and selling mid-game. So if you're scoring an upset, let's say that like you're about to beat an agent that's much stronger, you can bid into your agent to make it play stronger and convert the game, if that makes sense. And there's a ton of game theory. You can also buy and sell your opponent's agent. So if you notice that your opponent is bidding up their agent, you can buy it and dump it on them later as they play the game.
Interesting. So this is like deep mind battle bots.
Exactly. Yeah, it's taking like and I think I'm super into chess. I play out here in New York all the time. I play online like every day for the last 7 years or so. I played as a kid. And what I've noticed with a lot of the Web3 chess games is that because money's involved, people cheat. But the BattleBots AI model is a lot of fun because all of them are chess engines. They're all using computers to play. So it removes that trust barrier that people have with chess, especially for money, and turns it into more of a trading game versus a chess game.
So pieces where I really, really wish we had all this, whatever you're working on last night live, where we could actually see like the interface here, because it feels like in some way I want to be using like an MS-DOS prompt to be doing this sort of stuff. But I'm curious, can you maybe walk us through how you're creating a social and design context for this, which feels like it could be very, very complicated in some way, but I'm assuming you've simplified it down.
Yeah, so I think the best way to think of the UX flow is maybe something similar to like the Uniswap cards or Monad cards. So people come, they use their profile picture or a picture of like a meme, a pet themselves, and then we create an anime character based off of that. Then it puts them in a game. It shows them like how much money is at stake, what their strength is, what their opponent's strength is. And then at the end of the game, it's kind of similar to like an MMO or an online game. It shows you like who won the game as you're playing, and shows you sort of like the money that you can claim. The financial incentives for creators is pretty good. So one, like you're releasing a token that's just a game character, right? So it doesn't come with like, oh, this is a time token or a creator token, which I think are good things, but like, I think it's a little bit lower stakes. And then 2, they earn 0.5% of trading fees. So if people come and speculate on their agent, they make money directly in addition to all the game winnings, right? So you as a creator, if your agent goes on, and we've had people launch for like 0.2 Sol and then make like 2.4 Sol, you're able to claim all of that money. So it's a good deal for creators. And I think it's a fun, engaging way to launch a token and not feel like, oh, I've got to go like post about it on Twitter and get my friends to buy it and then feel like I'm responsible if it goes down. It's a little bit lower stakes.
I'm super curious. Have you learned anything from watching these games play out, or like what is the experience like for you in the view time?
Yeah, it's a good question. One, engines that are sort of limited in strength, they play different than, so like if you have an engine sort of replicating a beginner chess player, they play different than like a beginner chess player would. Some moves seem like very strong for a beginner, and then it forces errors to sort of replicate an elo. So sometimes it's very frustrating to watch, like if your agent blunders a queen. On the flip side of that, it's very rewarding when your agent like, comes back and wins money. So I think it's a fun model, and I think it's something that we're seeing even outside of chess, like chess is growing in viewership, and more and more people are liking to watch, whether it's LLMs or chess engines play against each other. But yeah, it's a different experience because when you win, it feels good. But when you lose, it's like, oh, I didn't lose. It's this agent that lost, if that makes sense. But, we've got a lot of good data. We've already had, I think, around 30,000 games played. $200,000 have been wagered on these games, like won and lost by agents. And to me, it's a little bit more, I hear a lot about like people like, oh, I want AI agents to trade for me. But if people could build an AI agent that has a profitable strategy all the time, it's like selling a money printer, right? Like, why would you do that? Why would you not just be like a Medallion Fund or Jane Street and print money? Whereas this, I think it's fun because it's a game, and you still have the sort of the ability to impact it by trading versus, like just running an agent that makes money for you in the background.
So, I think for folks who aren't into chess, they may take the under on just how big this market is. And so I guess question is, can you maybe just illustrate how big and popular chess is right now? And yeah, maybe I'll stop there. I got another question that I'm
fascinated. Yeah, chess is a massive industry. Over 600 million people play chess. If you look at big apps like chess.com, they have, I think, over 100 million paid subscribers. So, and then if you just go on YouTube and Twitch and look at chess creators, they're not just big chess creators, they're big creators in general. Like you have the Hikaru Nakamura's, the Gotham Chesses of the world, and they have 6 million, 8 million subscribers. And it's an industry that's growing as well. So it's something where I think the appealing thing is if you look at chess.com, they can charge like maybe $15 a month for a membership. So I think there's a big opportunity to bring new business models, particularly things like the launch.
I'm sorry, this is breaking, Christian. I just saw your bot get smoked, dude. I'm so sorry, man. Tez just pulled through on the front there. That was really something to behold.
It is funny because my bot is the loss leader on the site. I think I've lost around 4 souls. So it's a good way for me to know what people are experiencing on the other side of it, because it is a PvP app, right? Like some people make money and some people lose.
Yeah. Okay, but so the interesting thing here is maybe thinking a little bit more meta about this, right? This idea that sports is very popular, games are very popular. What happens when these are robots and clankers doing this sort of stuff? And is there a similar sort of attachment and emotional involvement that might come from it? And where might that go?
Yeah, it's a good question. I know that people are already, even if you look at prediction markets, like speculating on the performance of LLMs, the performance of engines. I think for us, like we wanted to find a way for people to be able to like launch their own agents, right? And have that personal connection to it. So instead of it being like, oh, Grok is beating, some ChatGPT model, it's tied to them. But I do think it's something that's going to increase. And the fact that you don't have the cheating element that comes along with human play, I think makes it a very good medium for speculation, right? Because it's the marketing code that's determining the outcome. It isn't, players and trusting that they aren't cheating or manipulating the game.
I never really thought of BattleBots being like the early mover and what could be like an absolutely massive industry of robots competing against each other. Like, do you sort of hold up? Is there like a broader market opportunity here that you sort of see chess being the sort of wedge into, or are you looking at this as just like a huge market and a whole new game that you can go build in it?
Yeah, I think the concept could scale to any game that you can that can be simulated or played by LMs or any sort of software in general. We wanted to start with chess just because it is a massive market and I know it very well. But I do think that you could imagine it with poker. You can imagine it with like rock paper scissors. The game medium doesn't matter that much as long as it's engaging to watch and people know the rules.
Well, it's so interesting because I'm just realizing maybe like this is the nature of like Pokemon or something like that. It's like one Pikachu, like Pikachus have the same amount of powers, and then whatever, you have to actually evolve them in order to get to the next ELO, basically. And what this lets you do, or potentially lets you do, is build story or build other experiences all on top of just a known game and something that people like, and they get an in-world character as their entry point. And yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, totally. I think Monsters.fun's a good example of that. They're doing that kind of model where it's like you create these monsters that have LMs behind them.
Dude, these guys are monsters. I'm looking at grandmAIsters right now. We got Shaq against wait, who's Shaq playing right now? I'm sorry. Against Coinstar. These guys are monsters.
Yeah, some of them have, like I said, like over $200,000 have been bet And it's very fun. You know, it's a good model too on the business side because it's essentially the launchpad model, but with also this automated volume that comes from games. So for us, like, you know, we've had only 200 launches so far, this being our first week. We've already done a couple $100,000 in volume, and that just scales as more and more people sort of deploy agents. And it comes at the user's benefit too, because they get that guaranteed price action, which I think is the worst experience launching a coin is when it doesn't do anything, when it stays at 6K market cap and doesn't
do something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so live for a week. What has the response been, and what is the market you're actually going after here? I would assume that most chess people aren't crypto people, but maybe there's a bigger overlap than I might imagine.
Yeah, what we've noticed is that people who aren't like super into crypto have enjoyed the app more than others who are. I think part of that is that like when you trade on Solana in particular, you're conditioned to like want, you know, like 300-400 X's immediately. Your average hold time is measured in seconds, right? So I think for us, like the model could apply to that. Like these agents are on bonding curves. If we can find a way to on the go-to-market side to get that volume, we could totally have that. But for us, like what we've been focused on is when we want everyone to create agents. We want that sort of long tail experience of launching tokens to have the excitement that you see with the runners on Bonk or Pump. So that's where our focus has been like, let's make it extremely fun to play. And then just iterating on feedback. Like we launched without trading charts, without referral systems, things that are kind of staples to launch pads, indexing probably too heavily on like the gameplay. And we've gotten feedback saying, hey, like if I'm going to trade seriously on this, I want to see trading view and stuff like that. So we're taking that feedback. We're going to come back with better incentives around growth and just better trading experiences, faster trades. But yeah, the reception has been, it's been fun. And I think it's like, it feels very novel. I'm been super inspired by sort of like that 2021 cohort of products, like the NBA Top Shot, Zed Run, Axie Infinity, where speculation was a piece of it, but it wasn't like the core component, right? Like there were cups of coffee with speculation, not like the pump fun injecting needle of speculation directly into your veins, right? So we want to have that fun gameplay experience that people engage with and enjoy. But I think the speculation component is core to a lot of people, particularly on Solana, where the app is hosted.
Those are all speculation games.
Yeah. I mean,
regardless.
and take this with a grain of salt because I just love thinking about product, but we'll encourage you definitely not to lose this. But I could totally see the pro.grandmAIsters.com being just the order book flow or just the pro trader experience, while you still have this like watch live thing. Like this is very fun to click around and just watch these games happen and unfold. And
have you launched one yet?
I haven't launched. I don't have any wallets on this computer, but
it's probably safer.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't wait. I want to get some freaking Meisters going and playing. I mean,
yeah, you just go there and click watch, and you'll be jump right into a game and watch the chess pieces move around, and you can impact it with your buys or sells. That's nice and simple. I'm a big fan of sort of. I think we just see so many copycats of like trading views, right? And the game is just a game that gets copied across different chains and maybe slightly different contexts, but the sort of repackaging of markets into a game, I think, is really a good way to define the opportunity that's ahead of us, I think. And likely, I mean, we've had a number of products on here over the last little while that are just running at that directly. New UXs, new social contexts that create new fun ways to kind of experience crypto in just a different light.
Totally. Yeah, I agree. I think it's more appealing to people that's particularly outside of crypto if there is like a gameplay element and something that isn't just pure trading, if that makes sense.
As soon as we get that onboarding piece, just effortless, which we're seeing some interesting moves in as well. I think the people are going to be pretty blown away by how fast these types of things can kind of spread and grow. So wonderful. I mean, I didn't realize we were getting you so early in your journey here. I know you've probably been building this for a while, but a week live and seeing that action is wonderful to see. People should go click around, go watch a game, go make some buys. grandmAIsters, that's grandmAIsters.com. Really appreciate you hopping on with us, Christian, and we're going to be watching closely as you sort of iterate on this moving forward.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, brother. Cheers.
Later.
Thank you, sir.